What's up, guys? Welcome to RouteTalk 1. Good stuff. I'm with Matthew Kranabetter, which is, pretty cool. Because, actually, oh man, I'm hearing the audio on both ends, which is awful. But, you know what? I got it right here. There we go. That's off. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. So I guess that's what happens when you go live. But so I'm here with Matt Kranabetter. Went to school together. Big 2K guy. Me and Matt were doing the test streams together a couple days ago. Didn't go so well for Matt. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. But Matt's actually the first guest I ever had on my podcast. His episode hasn't come out. To be honest though, I think I've told you this already. I want you to be my first live. So I want to film some podcasts in the future, in the summer, when Corona, hopefully, yeah. So, actually, I don't even think I'd listen back to your episode, but then just after doing a few, I'm like, oh man, we can't release this because we were just like joking around the whole time. Yeah. So yeah, Matt's my first for everything basically. Matt's my guinea pig. He's my first guest. He's my everything. But that's funny now when you say it out loud. But me and Matt went to school together. We met in second year during a presentations class. So that's how I know Matt. Big fan of Matt, and I know Matt wants to work in sports as well. So that's why I try to get Matt involved with all these different projects. And I needed revenge because I've never lost at a video game in my life. So, doesn't count. There's no, you know what they say. If there's no video, it didn't happen. But so I guess let's get to the gameplay. Let's see if this is working. There. What I like to do, I was telling this Matt the other day, is the randoms. So we're not just picking like Golden State versus Toronto. But so what I'm gonna do. Also, Matt, you good? Best out of 3 series. Because I think the games usually last like 20 minutes anyways. Yeah. Oh, you changed it to 5? Damn, 5. What's 3? 3 times 4 is 12. 12, that's 36. Yeah, let's go. And then maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll make game 3 if it ends up going that way, which it won't because I'll smoke you in 2. Yeah. Okay, let's start with 3. Actually, maybe 4 because let's just be 4 because I have a little. Anyways, just do 4. Yeah. 3. How about we go 3, 4, 5? Yeah. Okay. Also, we're gonna go. Matt, switch sides again. I'm gonna be away on all these, so as you can see in the little scoreboard, there's no digital action there. It's just a banner. I'm gonna be white for all of them, so it's a little more consistent. So at Nascimento Marketing, Christopher Nascimento, me, MK23 or MKBetter 23. So basically, I'm a big fan of the randomization teams. So what the rules are is you get 3 spins on the random. Matt already started, I guess. No? Okay. So basically, the first one, random. Second one, random. But you can pick between 1 or 2. And if you go for a third random selection, you have to stick with the third one. So those are the rules. Matt, it's basically the same thing we did the other day, Matt. Yeah. So I was just explaining it. So I'm not even gonna look how many people we have, but it's gonna grow. That's the best part of all these different projects. Also, I mentioned it. Actually, here let's just start this. Okay, wait. Let me find a team to start on. Okay, wait. Let me. Oh yeah, that is your random. Okay, wait. Remember last time when I started, I think I was on. I started with the Hornets. And then my first random selection landed me to the Hornets. So maybe I'll just start with the Warriors and see. But yeah, here's my first random. Toronto Raptors, not bad. Yeah. There's a good chance I'm going. Yeah, I'm going Raptors. That's an easy one. New York Knicks. Oh, this is tough. This is bad. Yeah, jeez. Oh, really? Imagine it just gets worse. Actually, hey, you know what? I'm not even going to say that. New York Knicks, if you're watching this, add me on LinkedIn. I'm more than interested to moving to the city during these times to work on a project. Oh, that's not bad. That's pretty good, actually. Where's Toronto? Oh, there. Oh, they go by alphabetical by the team name, not the city. Oh, that's awful. Oh, wait. I want to pick my jersey because last time. Do you know how to do this? Really? Let me click a few buttons. Wait, Matt, how did you do the settings last time? Whoops. Game setting. Oh, 3 minutes you went back. Man, that's awful if they don't let you pick the jerseys. Wait, let me try this. I thought they did when you're... Hey, Matt. I know. Well, I'm like, maybe we should go... Oh, wow, that's bad. Okay, sorry, let me just start this. What? Let's do it. I guess before we just get into these normal conversations, because like I mentioned on my Instagram posts and all that different stuff, this is like a more laid back version of the podcast, just chatting, with more likely younger guests. I actually have some cool people that said they'd be interested in even just doing the stream, but yeah, it's actually so there's like quite a bit of students, which is great because that's what like the target was initially. Is younger demo. Hey Matt, do you know how to mute the gameplay? Oh, I wasn't paying attention to the game. Okay, you know what? Okay, let's go. Yeah, Matt, you want to just start off by like telling a bit about yourself? Like, yeah. Telford's at U Ottawa, by the way. NTD plays. I don't think I have actually. Yeah. Well, yeah. So I started off there, and then supervisor. But yeah. Woo! Man, that's what I call defense. Sorry. Man, these streams are gonna go back because I get too competitive, and then someone's gonna be talking about something. But yeah, we met in that class. Matt was an usher. I was working in parking. So I started off just as an event attendant. I'd have long shifts because I loved being at the football stadium, and it was like pretty cool because all my friends worked there. And yeah, so I ended up working there for 3 years. I think in SageUp, and then started university as well. And yeah, me and Matt met in class. We were there as well. Matt, I don't remember if we ever like worked together. Yeah. I know I've seen you while you were working, but anyways, yeah. Oh no. But yeah. Hey, did you see that little documentary on him basically? Like his dad was training him, and he basically like he's. Yeah, like apparently he was. I think what he said was it'd be like all icy out because obviously we're in Canada, and man, Ibaka slow, and like his dad would be making like do like hill climbs, and it doesn't sound horrible, but I'm guessing just the frequency of it is what made it that much worse. Oh, in a row too. Matt, these 3-minute quarters was a horrible idea. Look at this. It's 5-4. Like, yeah. Yeah. No, but yeah. So, sports marketing, Matt, I'm assuming, obviously, you've been listening to my podcast, correct? And yeah, have you? Yeah, that's huge. I don't know if you were able to listen to the. Oh man, maybe I got stuff going for threes. Wow, Gasol so slow. Yeah, what I was gonna say was, you mentioned how it's on Apple now. You're a big basketball fan. We're playing 2K for that reason. Otherwise, if it was my choice between the 4 sports games, or 4 major sports games, that's a tongue twister. I wouldn't pick 2K, but yeah. So my last guest was the director of business development with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah. So what I was gonna mention about that is Apple is the difference. Like, let me just tell you this. So, damn. So usually there's a huge like spike in listens the day of and the day after an episode releases, because I'm promoting on social media. If you subscribe, you get the notifications. Which subscribe, yeah, and we usually get a certain amount, and that is pretty much average. And then the best episode is episode 0, which is about me, and episode 1, which is with Jacob Kelly of the Red Blacks. And yeah, so those were the highest ones for a while, and I had a comfortable lead over it. And then boom, the Cavaliers one comes out. I think it's one of the first ones, maybe the second one that's completely like good to go on Apple as soon as it's released. And it was shared on LinkedIn by either him or someone on his team. And it was blown, like, so that was on the day it released, and it blew out like every other podcast. Like, so episode 1 and episode 0 of those were my highest 2 combined. They met what the Cavaliers episode met in its initial day. Yeah, so that was huge. Yeah, so I think the analytics are a few days late as well, so I haven't been able to see, but Apple Podcast makes a difference. So my yeah. But yeah, check that out, because I've been, like you're saying, me and you have kind of similar career paths that we want to take or embark on. And, just from speaking to these different guests, and for anyone who's also interested in, sports marketing, getting into the industry, one of the things I've been able to pick up from all these great conversations and, professionals is that you're not necessarily always going to go down the route, as I should say, that you initially like depicted for yourself coming out of university or while you're starting your career. And I even had a call the other day with someone who they even mentioned, maybe just like get into the university, or not the industry, get into the industry, get the experience, and then that's when you'll really figure out what you like and what you don't like. And then once you're into, you make those connections, and then they know you're serious about the position and being involved in sports, not that you just like sports. So that's something to consider as well. Yeah. Have you looked into what is it? So me and Matt are living in Ottawa, and due to Corona as well, it's probably best that we stay here for a bit because it's pretty uncertain time. So even once it opens up, it's gonna be gradual. But have you been looking into the teams around here a bit? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So Matt's talking about this webinar where we're going to be attending next Thursday. That's basically hosted by one of the local sporting organizations, and they're going to touch on what the sporting landscape is going to look like after COVID, or what they believe it will look like, or because you can only assume. But yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So that's kind of a fairly big topic with the people I'm around, because my parents, my aunts and uncles, they're like, what are you gonna do then if there's no one attending sports? There's no one attending sports. There's less less money coming in, so less money that can go out. So there'd be less jobs or less opportunities, projects, etc. So then they kept asking, so what are you going to do? And maybe you should look into different avenues. Maybe sports isn't the thing. But that's kind of the reason for all these different projects like this, where, maybe esports probably is this. It's going to be the huge future because, episode 2 of my podcast, we have the Dave Harris from Australia, and he's a chairman for different esports teams, and he just talks about how big it's getting. Pardon? Yeah, and oh yeah. No, 100%. And one of the craziest things he told me on that episode, well, I knew I can listen to it as well. Oh, come on. Did you go in? No. Nice. Was that, I think one of the tournaments they attended, or one of the tournaments just in general, I think it got 20 to 30 million viewers, which I don't know if people are familiar with the Grey Cup that are watching this, but I'm pretty sure the Grey Cup averages, maybe it's a CFL game that averages around 5 million. So, considering it's a sporting event that you can't really touch, I guess you could say, it's on a screen, you're watching it. That's huge numbers, and considering I wouldn't say it's in its infancy phase either, because it's been but it's definitely the future. And considering all traditional sports teams, so like basketball, Knicks, things like that, everyone's starting to get a esports team a part of them. That's how you can tell there's a shift going on. Come on. Nice. But yeah, Matt, maybe is there anything you want to talk about that? For one thing that I always mention to people who either come on the podcast or DMs or emails that I get is some of the best advice if they're a younger guest and they're unsure what they're gonna say or how useful it's gonna be, is oftentimes I find talking or listening to someone your age almost is more motivating or inspiring at times, because it's like, oh wow, it's much more relatable, because if they're doing it, you don't really have an excuse. So whether it's something you're doing, or I know even for me, I don't want to say regret, because if I regret something, I wouldn't be where I am now. But if I were to go back and look or give myself advice, I'd probably suggest getting involved earlier, getting an internship right as soon as I started university if I knew I wanted to get into sports. So is there any kind of advice or something like that you would do differently, or you would advise, 17-year-old Matt starting university? Which one? Telford Connects? I went to that. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, that's good advice, because I to be honest, I remember that completely. It was the back left corner, or there's like a little divider. It was like all those, like there's an aerospace company, and I remember I kind of left that event as well. Like there's some good connections I made, but then for the most part, a lot of them were third year, fourth year, something like that, and kind of felt useless, and okay, maybe I don't have anything, and I wasn't too interested in it either, which kind of led to me not really networking, surprisingly enough, until probably until right before fourth year. I'm not gonna lie. Like, to be honest, though, I started networking properly less than a year ago in July. But then I also kind of just flipped a switch, and then, been trying to meet as many people as possible and make those, great connections, because once you no, yeah. Yeah. And so I enjoyed my time at Telford, the school we went to, and I don't know if I would do things differently, but I do know much more now than I did before, especially about different programs that are offered. Obviously, I love marketing, great degree, definitely a field I want to work in, especially in sports. But you find out about all these different sports administration, sports management, different types of programs like that at different universities. Would you, if you were, to go back and be 17 or advise yourself, or maybe even advise someone else, would you be like, oh, maybe consider that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I completely agree. Like, I've had guests, or even sometimes I speak to people who are in those programs or involved more in those clubs, 'cause some people are shocked by seeing my social media that I wasn't involved with those clubs through university. But no, I would not change being in marketing either, because I think it gives you a proper, because it's a business, right? I'm not going into the sports industry to be a fan, or to. Do you want to do 4 minutes? Yeah. Yeah, we're not going in it to be fans, or to lollygag in there, right? And it really matters about the bottom line. And we did have to take like certain classes that may have been harder than other programs, possibly, but like it resulted us, gaining like a better understanding into, a company as a whole or an organization. And then with your street smarts or your common, not common sense, but like, so then from your understanding of the sports, then you can apply what you learned in school with business, and I feel like you get a much more macro view than such a micro. But I do think though, speaking to all these different people, you want to do random now? Oh yeah, good idea. Oh well, if we're doing classic teams, let me get off the Bulls. Wait, whoa, I didn't do it. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But wow. To be honest, all these classic teams are going to be good. Okay. Yeah, I did. I got the Heat. 79. Now I'm going a third time. Jeez. Man, this is vintage. Why, really? You didn't go with the Warriors? Oh, that's fairly fair. No? That's fair. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, but I've like spoken to people who have done those programs, and I have considered like going back and maybe getting a master's, but don't think I will for sports management because I think the experience may suit me better right off the hop. But how they're, because a lot of the sport management or admin programs, you have to get an internship. It's much. I was looking at the shout out Laurentian, no free shout outs. Sponsor it, please. Yeah. Wow, they even changed the court. Sorry, I just noticed that. Wow, my guy has Converse. Is that Jerry West with Converse? Is that Jerry West? It is. Jeez, that's cool. That's tight. I did. Oh, actually, no. I'm missing the last episode still. No, he didn't want to go to Converse. Did he? I thought he was like, oh, I don't want to. They already have those guys. He wanted to go to Adidas. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to go to Converse because they already had all their... Or no, Converse didn't want him because they had their guys. It's crazy too, like the numbers. Like, what was it? Nike was like, oh yeah, if we get... I think maybe 4 million after 3 years, like they'll be like extremely happy. And then they end up... What did they end up making? 100 million or something first year? My God, that's amazing. Oh yeah, but quickly going back to the Laurentian program. So I had a guest on the podcast, Sean Myers. I forget what episode number he was. I think it was 2 or 3 episodes ago. And he's currently with the University of Ontario Tech. Hockey team as the manager of hockey ops. But he went to Laurentian for the degree. And so, I had to do some creeping on Laurentian and, see what it is because I was tagging them in posts. And they have these trips where they go to all these different cities, for instance, Pittsburgh. And then they do a presentation to the Steelers, to the Penguins. Yeah, I saw that. And then, they network at those events. So then they get really tight with, their classmates, which is cool because, like, for us in our business degree, we were able to do that in the last semester for the strategic management class where we had a simulation. So this is basically a similar thing, but I think they do it much more frequently because it's a tighter group and our program, they kind of try to weed people out. But yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's what I was asking the question earlier because I was looking at that and I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. And I recorded a podcast with someone from the Argos this week. He's actually someone that wants to come onto this possibly as well. and he was saying, he's like, yeah, if I wish I knew about all these like sports degrees, because I had no idea. Oh my god. I know. Hey, is this first thing? I don't know. There's one night I finished watching the doc, and then I'm like, what's his first name? Is it Irvin or something? And I'm like, no. I'm like, Irvin Johnson doesn't make sense. And I'm like, imagine if you're just born with the name Magic. That's probably a documentary. No, but yeah, my guest was like, yeah, he's like, if I knew that, he's like, I would have dove right into that right away. But like us, you wouldn't be where we're happy where we are now. So, but yeah, speaking of the documentaries, I was watching this sports podcast radio show on YouTube, Pat McAfee Show 2.0. Shout out, no free shout outs. Yeah, and actually, I'm saying this no free shout out thing, and it's the Bussin' with the Boys podcast. Shout out, but no shout out. They say that, and I just realized they said that, and I DM'd Will Compton, who's on the show. He's the linebacker for the Raiders last year, asking him if he wants to come on the stream. He hasn't answered me yet, big yet, but yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, sorry. So I was tuning into the Pat McAfee show on YouTube, and apparently Brady has like 3 documentaries or 2 documentaries coming out in the next year or 2, or they're filming it this year. One of them is with LeBron. So it's LeBron, Brady, and 2 others. It's a swimmer and I think a surfer. And then, you know what I mean though? So like everyone saw the success. They're like, oh, we're doing this now. Am I not winning? How am I not winning? I thought I was winning. Jeez. Yeah. Oh, Corona too. Well, they're gonna release it in June, right? But see, so when I was listening to the Pat McAfee show, they're kind of talking about how they're gonna do this and want the same success as The Last Dance. But I think, obviously, I know for me, I know for you, and I'm sure a decent amount of the people that are watching this or listening to the podcast, they'd feel the same way, where they'd watch it regardless, right? Because they're interested in the whole business side, the whole behind the scenes of the Bulls, because it's a historic team. But I don't think another documentary. So I love Brady, huge Pats fan. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't think it'll get as much of success because, for instance, it's quarantine, so people, when it came out, everyone was watching it at the same time, even though it wasn't a live special, right? It came out on Netflix, and yeah, and I think because not everyone doesn't really have anything to do, that's why everyone started watching it. So then next year, in 2 years, when this new documentary comes out with LeBron and Brady and the 2 others, sorry for calling them others, just can't remember their names, I think it will gain success, but not to this level, because first off, it's Michael Jordan, which is, and then, he's also been out for 20 years now, going on 20 years, pretty soon, 2003 or something. I go on his Wikipedia page, not too frequently, but whenever I read something about him, I always because it's so interesting. Obviously the baseball timeline, and then he retired 3 times. Cause yeah, and then the whole Wizards thing, the whole Wizards era wasn't a great look. Yeah, but it still wasn't like Mike. But his last game, he was good, wasn't he? By the way, did you see that last jump shot? Legs tucked in and everything? That was hard. That was a hard jump shot. But yeah, in terms of like marketing, so with a team, is there anything specific you're interested into? Because I know I went to a marketing event in January for the school we went to, and one of the companies that were there were telling me that everyone was interested in digital marketing, and not that I wasn't. No, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. Events would obviously be cool, and if this, well, to be honest, this is almost like a virtual event. Well, that tournament that I want to do as well would probably count more as a virtual event. But I was, interested in. I was gonna do a golf tournament for a company I was, you know, contracted with, for to get some leads. So that's definitely something I'm gonna try to get into. And if you're interested in that, I'm sure we could try to, you know, put some things together because there's a few ideas I have. Whether it's, I think throughout my life I'll probably start having a golf tournament because my dad had one and I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, but I like these little sports tournaments or little events like that. I want to try and then hopefully build it up to something, as you get more experience. So if you're interested in that, maybe you can do that as a side hustle because I know we're gonna get, once Corona ends. But yeah, that'd be crazy. To be honest, what was it? Matt, there's you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, the events marketing thing that you touched on, I was speaking to a guest of my podcast. Obviously, I feel bad. I'm always plugging this. Even in an email the other day, someone asked me for advice, and I'm like, oh, well, like I plugged it 3 times almost, and I wasn't doing it purposely, but obviously I'm not a broadcaster, right? I don't have experience. Actually, this is a broadcasting software, but besides that, yeah, I don't have broadcasting or sports writing experience, and that's what they're with. So I have guests that have great advice that I applied to myself, but for those people that were asking me, that was directly relevant to them. So that's why I kept plugging it. No, Matt, that's disrespectful. Matt, Wait, is this the end of the game? Is that 3? Was that 3? 2. Come on. That's disrespect. That's disrespect. But yeah. So I plug it like that because not to be like I'm not making any money at the moment on views, but all these useful advice, especially for someone in broadcasting. That's why I always keep look at this because it's a professional advice that would be directly relevant. But it's bringing it to you. I have an episode. I think it's the one coming out Thursday, and they're with a marketing agency, and one of the things they do is they're like fairly what is it? What's the good word for this? Tied into projects that are all about events with huge sponsorships. For instance, I don't know if I can think one off the top of my head, but I'll give an example. So let's say like Pepsi sponsors the Super Bowl and they have a tent or something. They like host an event or an NFL, I don't know, something, pregame party. And they're kind of relevant from that and making content for it afterwards. So that's maybe something you should look into it as well. That'd be cool. Yeah. Have you ever watched the TV show Mad Men? Matt. So look, marketing show, so just being a marketing graduate, that's one reason. Another, it's like one of the oh, you know what? Now that I know Jerry West can pull up from three, it's done. What? What's with the double team, Matt? It's like in the documentary, you know. If you double team me, I know Kerr's gonna be open, but yeah. But yeah, what I was gonna say was oh yeah, Mad Men. You know, just being a marketing graduate, that's a reason to watch it. But then I've never watched Breaking Bad or Ozark or any of those things because huh? Oh yeah. Is it good? Anti-hero. Yeah. That's almost like Mad Men, where Don Draper, you know, who's John Hamm in the show, he's not like he has like his moments, but you know what I mean. He's not like I won't spoil anything, but well, I probably won't watch it. I like my buddies in high school all watched it, so I'm pretty familiar with what takes place. Like the meth lab gets raided. He's a teacher. I was gonna say something about my high school teacher, but no, not that. I won't even say that. But yeah. Yeah, but definitely watch Mad Men. It's a definitely good TV show. There are some interesting aspects that may even be applicable to a marketing career because they're an advertising agency. Yeah, it's actually really. I might watch it again. That's how good it is. But yeah, something else I was gonna touch on. Do you have any ideas like that? Like, so obviously Corona's going on. Everyone's going through it. So, you know, almost everyone's kind of in the same boat we're on. Oh. I don't know. Are you like trying any different things, or maybe just resting because you know you just finished 4 years of a undergraduate degree that's fairly intensive. Oh. Enlighten me and maybe I'll know. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wait, what do you do? Oh, nice. Yeah, of course. What's the startup? Wait. How did you get involved with them if you're graduated now? You know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's good stuff though. See, I talked about it with the guest that I had last week, whose episode's not out for probably over a month now. Or it won't be out for over a month. But something I kind of touched on where, we were talking about internships, and I've noticed because I look at the sports industry sometimes, you probably have to get an internship to get your break. But a lot of times I find they say, oh, you must be a student in post-secondary, and he was saying, he's like, oh, I'm sure like if you like ask or something like that, they'll sometimes make exceptions because, someone who's that committed. But it makes things a little difficult, right? Where, maybe during school, you weren't really, I don't know if I should say sure, but man, this thing keeps lagging when I shoot. But, yeah, this is getting ugly. And then I started talking. You know what happened? It was basically, see, I don't like his jump shot anymore. A Magic, man. Bro, where's Jerry West? He's out. Yeah. And yeah, I think also maybe, I don't want to make excuses. So I won't even say that, but it's one of the things you need to find on your own, and I probably didn't do a good job of looking either when I was younger for these different experiences, especially internships with teams. But who knows? Maybe who knows where opportunities will arise from. Networking event. Oh no, that was the first one ever. That makes you feel better. Yeah, maybe that's one thing too, because I think other obviously there's Ottawa's fairly small, and the teams that are here are fairly new, so the connections probably weren't made. And I'm blanking on her name right now, but I've messaged her a decent amount, and she was in charge of hosting the event, and really nice. She was really nice, and she did a great job of it. But yeah, it's too bad that those events weren't there a little earlier, because it would have been so great to have those. Oh! Sorry. Yeah, but to be honest, I don't like. I think even just the one time, like, you can still make a proper impression. Like, to be honest, after the webinar, I'm speaking to someone from the networking event that we went to initially. Just have a few questions, and yeah. No. Are you doing anything to like sports related? So obviously, working with the startup for the blog, obviously it's still good, applicable experience. Like in basically any industry. Oh, that was sweet. But yeah. Anything like that, or any ideas you've been thinking of? Because I know during all these times I'm like, oh, well, if I was with a team, like what's something I could do? Because what is it now, the website? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I remember during that class when he like mentioned he's like make it all about you and like personal branding it. I was like, oh, I love that idea. You make a blog post about this? I'm serious, not like do a blog post about this. Oh, that's good stuff though. Yeah, man. So I won that game. Matt, what are you saying? Or it's the third time to try. Maybe we go back down to 3-minute quarters. Absolutely, man. Well, like I said in the Instagram post, we got a long list. So if anyone's watching this, you're next. But I never lost. If you suggest 2K, you will not be the next guest. But yeah, no, thanks for coming on. I think it's pretty good talk. I think as this goes along, the conversations will get better, just like the podcast and like a blog, like you mentioned. Because I remember in that class, the prof talked about how, just do it because the first one's going to be garbage compared to the 100th. So, yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, let's make this around 100. So we got less than 5 minutes to round this out. 60 minutes. Oh, that doesn't look good. But yeah, so it's about 4 minutes left, and yeah, I guess just to wrap things up, what are any final words or things you'd like to share? You'll be back on. You'll be a recurring guest. Occurring. Yeah. Yeah. Matt, what do you mean if you made it? Of course they made it up to this point. Matt, we still have one person streaming. Actually, it might be me. Whoops. But, yeah. Yeah, if you're listening right now, I love you. You're my best friend. Yeah, no, but, yeah, Matt, where can they find you if interested? If they want your CV, if they want to get in contact with you or, see what's up with Matt Kranabetter. Yeah, you can right over here. Just LinkedIn. Yeah, you can see the name over here as well. It's a little small, but in the title for this video as well, it should say RouteTalk with Matthew Kranabetter, NBA 2K20. But yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, no, I think this was actually pretty good. We had no hiccups with the technology, and that's huge considering I've never streamed before, and I got my PlayStation last week, so that's huge. But yeah, this was good. Hopefully, if people are watching this, obviously maybe not live, but going forward in the future, hopefully you guys enjoy this. If you ever have a specific, discussion you'd like to hear or even be a part of, DM me at Nascimento Marketing. You can see that over here on all social media platforms. So you can message me on Twitch, I'm pretty sure, from what I'm figuring out when I'm on this thing. Yeah, so message me on Twitch. I'll try. I'm not too good on Twitch yet. It's only been a few days. But Instagram, Twitter. I have a YouTube channel as well now. It started up. Nascimento Marketing as well. Comment on something, I'll reach out. Yeah, all that stuff. And people have been emailing me as well, which I have an email button on Instagram, which is I was surprised with, but that's fantastic. Email me there as well. And I'll try to get the best variety of guests on here as well to change it up from the podcast a bit, because obviously I love the guests I have on the podcast. They're they're in the industry, they're right on the cusp, and they have all these unique experiences. Well, I find this medium is fairly unique, and that's why I kind of wanted to try it out, because being you and I being the same age. Actually, I'm older than you. You're 22, right? Or you're 21. Okay, well, geez. Yeah, but anyways, but me and Matt being around the same age, I'm not 21, but clearly, But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah. But what I mean is, it's kind of a similar thing with digital marketing, where I think you can even hear on one of the podcasts, or even just with any prof you have as well, where they may even touch on how when you enter an organization or company, etc., being the young person, they may be like, oh, you're good with technology because you were kind of raised with it. Here, you did digital marketing. You'd be in charge of, if you want to be in content, the YouTube, etc. And like I was mentioning to Matt a little earlier, I'm always trying to come up with ideas. Like I have a whole whiteboard here, trying to not remember things or not forget things because concussion issues. But anyway, yeah. What was I saying? That's not funny. Now I can't remember. Oh yeah, ideas. Oh yeah, being the young person. So then I was trying to figure out different ways of how to include esports into joining an organization, because that's maybe something that would stand out and maybe a lot of people haven't touched on. So I think this is a great medium to do so. And I just want to thank Matt again for coming on this RouteTalk 1. Yeah, RouteTalk 1, don't forget it. It's going to be huge. Probably like the Joe Rogan podcast and like the Route podcast. See Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, whatever, it's on everything. But yeah, Matt, thanks for joining. Stay tuned for Matt's live interview of the podcast once Corona ends. And other than that, feel free to reach out to us and stay tuned for the next stream. I don't know when it's going to come. It might even be tomorrow. But yeah, have a good one, guys. And yeah, thank you.